Hey guys, Dr. Christy Ennis. Today we are going over the muscles that you need to strengthen to really help support this knee. All standing, so you don't need to worry about getting up and down off the ground, but these muscles attach all the way down here, so they're really important, especially to help pull that knee back out. So let's get started. Exercise 1 really isolates that glute medius muscle on the side here. So I call this one the sassy teenager, and you'll see why in just a second. You're standing on one leg, so I'm on my right leg, and this is actually the leg that's going to be doing the work. I'm going to take and drop my left hip down, and the right one is going to do the work to shift and lift that pelvis back up. So it's right here. So this muscle really does help to keep the pelvis stable. That's why we're doing that pelvic drop, pelvic lift. And of course, do this on both sides. Shoot for about 10 to 15. All right, you need a step like the 1980s Reebok step I've got here, stairs at home, or even some old school textbooks or phone books. If you're as old as I am, you know what a phone book is. If not, ask your mom and dad. So you're going to take one foot behind you, and it's actually the leg in front that's doing the work. So if you're using a weight, you're going to keep the weight on the opposite side. This actually allows these smaller glute muscles as well as this big glute muscle to do even more work with the weight on the opposite side. You can hang on to something for stability. And from here, I'm thinking about pushing and shifting my hips back so my weight's going in towards my heels and then coming all the way back up. Love this one for a couple reasons. One, you get all those glute muscles. Two, you even get a little bit of a hip flexor stretch on the opposite side, which does make a difference in how those glutes are working as well. So if you don't need to hang on, you don't need to. You don't have to do this with a weight either, but you do want to make sure you do this on both sides. Again, about 10 to 15, somewhere in there, going to the point where you start to feel a little bit of fatigue in those muscles. This next exercise uses a band, although you can always do this one without the band and still using something steady to hold on to if need be. This is a tricky one, but I love it. It actually works both sides. So one foot's going to stay on the ground. The other foot is going to rest right up into the wall. So step one is actually pressing into that wall. So I'm engaging in through these bigger glute muscles. My leg that I'm standing on is having to work to help support me. From here, you're going to take and you're going to bring that knee out to the side. And I know, again, clearly we're working this side, but just try this out and you will see how hard that standing leg is working. Woo, as I fall over. That was totally on purpose. So shoot for about 10 to 15 on each side. Last one, right leg's going to do the work. So again, weight's going to go in the opposite hand to really engage all of those muscles in those glutes, all of those glute muscles. All right, so you can even use those back toes if you need to for balance. Little tiny bend in that knee. I'm shifting and pushing my hips straight back. So again, kind of shifting towards that heel and then all the way straight back up. So you can do this again, of course, without that foot on the ground. Same idea. And back up. Key with this though, it's okay if you want to work on balance, that's totally fine. But if you really want to engage your glutes and you're really wobbly, much better to hang on to something and be able to get the right form with this one. So again, of course, that around 10 to 15.